Hi guys! We are Monday morning today and I'm starting a new weekly vlog. We're going to focus on Chinese. Only Chinese. Ki-chan, say hello. Hi everyone. I'm going to focus only on Chinese this week because I said I would. First of all, I said I would do weekly vlogs that would be focused on one of my languages at a time. So we're gonna focus on Chinese this week, but of course I'm going to continue studying all three languages at the same time, so Japanese and Russian as well as Chinese. But for Chinese this week I actually have something exciting going on because I'm starting a new resource. So let me show that to you right now. Alright, so this is the resource we're going to start this week. Ki-chan is also here to see it with us. 基礎から学べる初めての中国語文法. It is a null-colored textbook designed for Japanese natives, so the source language is Japanese for this one. And I think it is actually below my level because I tested myself last week for Chinese with an A1 test exam and actually passed it at 95%. So my level right now is probably more A2, B1, and I still need to test myself on A2. I have past papers to go through. Probably I'll do that next week, not this week. In any case, that means that if I am over A1 or even A2 level, this textbook is probably lower than my current level, but it doesn't matter because it has lots of exercises on grammar, and that's exactly what I want to be doing right now because I have just finished the NHK 中国語入門 textbook. It lacked a bit of grammar exercises to put into practice everything I had learned through it. So that's why I'm going to be using this textbook or practice book from this week to make up for that. So I'll start this textbook with you guys this week, so you're going to see a lot of it in this vlog. Now let's go through the other two things I want to be doing for Chinese this week. Actually, the other two things are both related to reading immersion. So the first one is covering the second story of my 中国語でちょっといい話 short story collection book right here. So this is a Chinese-Japanese bilingual short story collection designed for Japanese natives studying Chinese. And I want to be covering the second story, which is this one right here. This is what the book looks like. I have the pinyin on all of the characters. And I'm using this book really as a study resource, so that's why I am actually writing in it, highlighting the vocab words, taking notes, writing the translations, so on and so forth. So this week I'm gonna be covering at least the second story. If I want to do more, I'll do more, but that will be the first kind of reading practice I do. The second reading practice goal I have for Chinese for this week is to go through as much as I can of the 36 stratagem story on Do Chinese, the app Do Chinese. Right now I think I am at chapter 3. Let me check that. Yes, I will start on chapter 3, and there are in total 5 chapters in the first part of the story, 36 stratagems 1. And then what would be great would be for me to finish the first part of the story this week, so covering 3 more chapters, and maybe start on the second part of the story, at least chapter 1 of the second part of the story. So now that we have all our goals in place for Chinese for this week, I think it's time to get started, and I will probably see you later during the day today when I will start studying with this textbook and see what it looks like. I'll see you later. I've just been to the gym, so that's why my face is all red. Sorry about that. Still Monday, it is now 5:52 p.m. and I am about to do the audit of my new textbook. I'm gonna take about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm gonna time myself actually to not take too long. I'm gonna do that with you guys. For now, I just need to open this, see exactly what's inside, how I need to approach it. Then from that point on, I'll be able to start studying with it. So let's go. One of the rules I'm going to be following for this week is that I'm going to time myself on all the studying I do for Chinese. I'm going to use my trusty Focus app and I'm going to go into my Chinese category and then choose my new tag for this new textbook. Click on it here and start timer for 25 minutes, but I'm probably not going to go all the way up to the 25 minutes. Alright, I'll be stopping here for today and I actually have a lot to tell you already. So I actually studied for more than 20 minutes and I've gotten as far as... So I covered already step 1, so the first part of the textbook. I just read it all at once and then I'm at step 2, chapter 6. So next time I open the textbook I'm going to be covering chapter 6. So the first thing I can tell you is that first of all the first step was actually only repetition of things I already knew about the language. It was really the introduction chapter for the language. And then I found this aisatsu page quite interesting. So set phrases and expressions to greet people. That's a useful recap page right here. Then we have step 2 here, saisho no bunpo, so basic grammar. And then in here, so here you have the grammar points and here you have the brief explanation for each grammar point. And then here the construction of the grammar point, some example sentences, more explanations about the grammar point and more things you want to learn about this specific grammar point. And then you have exercise sentences to do on your own, and here you have the answers for these exercises. So the first thing I can tell you is that with comparison to the NHK textbook, the explanations for each grammar point are much shorter, which is actually a good thing because I don't want to be spending that much time revising everything since I've already covered it quite in depth actually with the NHK textbook. So these short explanations are a great way for me to just remind myself of what the grammar point is about and also read about it in a different way because of course the explanations are a bit different than the ones I found in the NHK textbook, so that's always good, you know, to have different explanations about the same grammar point just to crystallize your knowledge. And it's working great for me. Then another thing I can tell you is that it's already giving me some vocab words that I actually don't know yet, so I'm very happy about that. If you're wondering, I'm mainly focusing on the pinyin pronunciation. I'm not even looking at the katakana readings here because I don't think it's going to be helping me in any case. One more thing I can tell you is that the exercises are actually very good for me because that's exactly what I wanted to be doing. They're making me review the basics. That's absolutely perfect. They are of course not very difficult yet. Those sentences are the simplest you can imagine. However, I think that by the end of the textbook they're going to become much harder and probably closer to what my level is. So in terms of speed, by the looks of it, I should be done with the 14 chapters of step 2 probably by the end of this week, and if I can even go into step 3, the chapters of step 3 by the end of this week, that would be great. In total there are 4 steps in this textbook. Step 3 has 23 chapters, so it's going to take me a while to cover, and then step 4 has only 9 chapters. So as a whole, I'll probably take, let's say, 3 weeks to a month to complete this. That's exactly what I wanted to know going into the audit of this textbook just now. So now I have a pretty good idea of the pace I'm going to be covering this at, of what kind of knowledge I'm going to be getting from this. And the only thing I don't know really is how effective it is going to be, because of course I've only just started using it. But other than that, I have a pretty good idea now after only 20 minutes about how the textbook is structured, how I'm going to be using it, whether I'm going to take notes or not. In this case not, because everything is in the textbook. I don't need to reshape it to make it more engaging. It's already very engaging as it is. The only thing I'm doing is that I'm using this pen, this Muji sign pen in lilac color, to underline the explanations on some of the grammar points which I've never seen before. Things I think are really helping me, I'm just gonna be underlining them. And then for the new vocab words I encounter, I'm gonna be using this highlighter. I don't know what the color is. Anyway, I'm gonna be using this highlighter to highlight the new vocab words I encounter, and that's pretty much it. If I really want to note down my answers to the practice questions at the end of each chapter, I'll use a separate paper, because if I want to go back to this textbook in the future, I don't mind the highlights, but I do mind having the answers written on there. I still want to have the option to reuse this as a practice book. So that's it. My audit phase now for this textbook is already done. It was very fast because this textbook as it is actually very straightforward, so my use of it is also going to be straightforward. Thank you for tagging along, and for Chinese today that's probably the only study I will do, so then I think I will probably see you tomorrow. So bye guys! Good evening guys! It is Tuesday today and it is currently 8:17 p.m. and I'm about to study some Chinese. What a surprise. It's actually not a usual time for me to study Chinese, and the only reason I'm studying Chinese now after my bath is because I am not studying with my ASIML textbook this week for Russian, because usually that's the time I take to study with my ASIML textbook after my bath. So anyway, long story short, because I don't have to study with the ASIML textbook this week because I'm taking a break for just 1 week, I have the space to study Chinese. And I was wondering while I was taking my bath what I would like to study most right now, and I guess I'm going to continue with my textbook, the one I started yesterday, because I want to make some progress and possibly finish step 2 if I can, because right now I'm not really in the mood to do reading or listening immersion in Chinese, so I'll leave that for the rest of the week, and now I'll just focus on my textbook again. Let's go! Alright, I'm done. In total, I think I studied for 30 minutes because I did a full Pomodoro of 25 minutes, and then I started the second one just for 5 minutes to finish chapter number 9. So I've gone up to chapter number 10. So next time I study with the textbook, I will start from chapter 10 right here. So I've made a lot of progress actually in step 2 because I only have 4 chapters left. 5 chapters if I count chapter 10. So yeah, 5 chapters left. I think it's definitely manageable within this week. At least I'm very motivated. For today I'm done. It was enough. I covered 4 chapters today. So that's enough. And it was great. Had a great study session. And that's it. I'm done with Chinese. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys. 早安，大家好。我现在休息中呢，我想录，不只是树。
习惯的作者 James Clear 曾经说过，习惯很重要，因为它们能帮助你成为你想成为的人。Habits matter because they help you become who you wish to be.
Hello, 大家好. So it's Thursday today guys, happy Thursday. I started the day with listening immersion practice as you saw, and I actually started with a video from a YouTuber I quite like, even though of course I understand only like 5% of what she's saying, but I'm subscribed, I really like her. Her handle name is gingerbread0529, and she talks about productivity, work-life balance and creativity, which are all topics I particularly enjoy, so that's why I watch her videos. I think she's from Taiwan, so her Chinese, especially her written Chinese, is with traditional characters, and of course her pronunciation is a bit different than the Mandarin Chinese I am studying, but still it's not that different that I don't benefit from using this content as listening practice material. I still definitely can learn a lot of vocab words. I still get exposed to almost the same language. So if you were wondering whether or not I was using Taiwanese materials to study Chinese, I am. And I think I can be exposed to Taiwanese Mandarin a little bit, maybe not the majority of the time, but as long as I'm interested in the topics and you know I enjoy watching contents in Chinese, I think it doesn't really matter whether or not it is in Taiwanese. So yeah, if you were wondering, I am using Taiwanese content. So this video was 11 minutes long, and now I'm going to watch another video because I have quite a few on my feed which I wanted to check out. There is a 9-minute video from 3 to Learn Chinese, which I really like as well. I'm also subscribed to her channel. I think she's a teacher of Mandarin Chinese. And then after that, I'm probably going to watch another video. So let's go. So this is the one from 3 to Learn Chinese.
Hi, 大家好，欢迎大家来到今天的中文课。今天我要给大家讲的故事叫做我家附近的公园楼5楼，我住在3楼。公园的草，小草，观察公园的花朵，花朵。有时候还要求孩子们在公园。
I could understand quite a lot actually. The 2 videos I just watched were without English subtitles, and then regarding the method I used, I took no notes. I did nothing else but to watch the screen and look at the subtitles in Chinese in both videos, because both videos had the subtitles in Chinese. I then focused on all the things I could understand and then tried to grasp the words I did not yet understand but could guess the meaning of. So that is how, for example, I could understand from the second video new words like running up and down, being prohibited from walking your dog in the park, walking your dog in the park, bird's nest, and what else? Bringing your kids to school. Those are all words I just encountered in this video just now, and I didn't know how to say that, and now I've been exposed to my first time hearing how to say these things, and the next time I will see them, if I'm lucky, I will be able to recognize them, and then the more repetition I get and the more exposure I get on each of these words and expressions, the likelier I am to actually remember them and maybe even know how to say them on my own. And now the last video I will watch is even shorter. I think it is 5 minutes long, and it will be with English translation this time, and it's much more focused on HSK level. So it's a story which is HSK 2 to HSK 3 level. I think it will be much less enjoyable, but let's listen to it nonetheless, just to see what it's about. Alright, where was it? That's this one. Talking Chinese, red red.
第3章，照片上的女孩在哪里？都是人，可是那个女孩在哪里？
Alright, I'm done with the 3rd video, and while I was watching it, I actually realized that this was the 3rd chapter out of a story that she has on her channel, and it wasn't a 5-minute video, it was a 12-minute video. Pretty interesting. I can tell you that this is almost exactly the same level as intermediate level stories on Do Chinese, the app Do Chinese, which I'm using for reading practice and also listening practice, in fact, because they have audio on there. So exactly the same level. It was a bit harder for me to keep engaged with the video and just stay focused on it in comparison with the two other videos I watched just before that, because this one was a bit less natural in the speech. The pronunciation was also very articulated. When it's not as natural as just a normal video, I'm finding it a bit harder to focus. And I took my phone in my hand at some point without even realizing, and then I realized it and I was like, oh, what am I doing? Put it down. But you see, I started, my mind started to go places. I could still understand and retain maybe 80% of what I just heard in this video, so that was still very successful. It's just that in comparison with the other two videos on which I was like very focused, on this one I was a bit less focused. Anyway, I'm very happy with the practice I just got done in like 40 to 45 minutes only, and now I'm just going to go back to my consulting work. I'll see you later, guys, or tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday today. It is just 9:11 in the morning. I'm about to go to the cafe to get some studying done before I start my day. I was doing my planning for the day earlier, and I realized I still have lots to do for my consulting work and also for YouTube, actually. I'm currently preparing the second video in my Reading in Japanese series, so that's very exciting, but it's taking me a lot of time. And so before I just get onto all the tasks that I need to take care of today, I just want to get some studying done. So I'm going to go to the cafe now, start with some active studying of Chinese with my textbook, the textbook I started this week, and then focus on Russian. So let's go! Hi guys, good afternoon. It is Sunday today. I didn't talk to you yesterday because I didn't do any Chinese studying. It's 4 p.m. and let's do a small recap of how the week went for my Chinese studying. So first of all, I'm happy to report I did manage to complete all of my study goals with Chinese for the week, and I'm almost done with my study goals for each language actually for the week. So anyway, for Chinese, a lot happened happened this week, as you saw. I started and made very good progress on a new study resource, my new grammar textbook / practice book for Chinese. So far, I really like it. I have gone up to the 3rd chapter out of 4 in this book already. What I've been practicing and studying has been very helpful, and I'm getting much more confident with at least sentence structure in Chinese. You also saw that I read quite a bit in Chinese this week. As per my study goal for the week, I managed to read the 2nd story in my 中国語でちょっといい話 book, and I also managed to read the last 3 chapters of my 36 stratagems 1 story on Do Chinese. And apart from this, you also saw that I did quite a bit of listening practice. I also did some this morning, in fact. Overall, I can tell you that this week alone helped me get more comfortable with at least making sense of what I hear when I hear spoken Chinese, which I'm very happy about. I do think that I'm ready to go for my mock test of the HSK 2 level, which I have with me actually. I've already printed it out, so probably next week I'm going to do that, because this week I felt the urge to at least look at it, so I think it's gonna be for next week. So I think that's pretty much it. I think that's also it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. We really focused only on what I'm doing for Chinese at the moment, how I am studying Chinese. I remind you guys that I'm still a beginner at Chinese, technically. I can make sense of the language when I see it written, but listening comprehension is still difficult. Making my own sentences, whether in written form or oral form, is also very difficult still. I'm studying this language slowly, step by step, and I'm really enjoying the process, in fact. I hope that this will continue and this will last for a long while. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's vlog, guys. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to develop anything I didn't really discuss during this vlog and which you would like to know about. And in any case, I will see you in my next video. Bye bye! Mata ne!